Test, 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 mic check, mic check.
work really hard to get those questions answered. If, when you get home, you think of a question that you didn't think of today, make sure you reach out to one of the admissions staff or somebody that you've met today, and they will get those answers for you. Butler is a great place to go. I have 4 kids. All 4 of my children have graduated from Butler, have moved on into various programs at Kansas State University. My daughter was the oldest, was in headliners, had a great experience in headliners. She went on and is now out of law school and practicing as an attorney in Missouri. So she looks back very fondly on her Butler days, her experience in headliners, and the teachers that she had. My 3rd kid, Stephen, is graduating from K-State here in about a month. And he too looks back at his Butler experience with fond memories, and he feels like his Butler teachers prepared him very well to be successful at K-State. He is in strategic communications, and I am looking forward to him taking the next step in his life. So for you moms and dads, when your children come to Butler, we are here to serve them. And if you have questions, please know that we want to answer your questions as well. This is a family experience in many ways when you come to Butler. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the next person, and I want to say thank you for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you all next fall here on campus. Thank you.
All right, my name's Kirsten Allen. I'm the Director of Admissions, and all of us in admissions have on the purple t-shirts that you got on your table. So again, feel free to ask us questions throughout the day. We're going to start off by having everybody stand up. Have your chair near you though, okay? All right, so if you drove 15 minutes or less to get here today, have a seat. Okay, if you drove 30 minutes or less to get here, have a seat. Okay, so we have a prize patrol group in the back, and so everybody who drove 30 minutes or less is going to get a keychain. They're going to come around and give you those. For those of you still standing, stay standing. Okay? So a new Butler keychain for your car to get you here and back in 30 minutes or less. All right, for those of you still standing, raise your hand if you drove an hour to get here. How about an hour and a half? Okay. If you drove over an hour and a half, raise your hand. What'd you guys drive? 40 minutes. All right. Okay, so for those of you that are still standing, first of all, thank you to everyone who came today. But thank you for driving a distance to be here with us today. And we all have another prize patrol group that's coming around with car coasters. So if you have a drink on your way home today, you stop and get a pop or something, you can soak up any sweat that might have with your new Butler car coasters. Okay? All right, everybody go ahead and have a seat. And on your tables, you may have put them in your bag. If you did, go ahead and grab your view book that looks like the picture that's up on the screen. And we're going to go over Butler information. And this will help answer a lot of questions that you might have. So Monica is going to go through that information with you. And then we'll have time for question and answer at the end. Well, hello, and welcome to Grizzly Junior Day.
go double
I am
check on
excited to help you
room 6
learn
and
more
7
about
downstairs, and I'll
Butler.
be back.
So we are gonna go over the view book together. So we are gonna go ahead and turn to the first page. All right, so why Butler? Well, because we have 93 years of experience. We have a little over 8,000 students, but you're gonna find an average class size of 16. So how do we manage to do that? Well, we top our classes at 25. Now, you can come to Butler for your freshman and sophomore years of college, then transfer to a university for your sophomore, for your junior and senior years. Or you can come to Butler for a technical program. And you will see there our academic programs. They're listed on there for you. All right, let's turn to the next page. Now, we are gonna help students be successful. How are we gonna do that? Well, we have small classroom settings, and they are offered at 7 campus locations. We also have hands-on programs, and we have more than 230 online courses to choose from. So that means you'll have several options here with us. Now, we are gonna help you get ready for the future. How are we gonna do that? Our career services are here to help you look for jobs with your resume. If you have an interview coming up, they'll help you with freshening up on your interview skills. Also, we have academic advisors who are here to help you, guide you for seamless transfer to a university, or to make sure that you're taking the right classes to get your 2-year degree with us. All right, let's talk about student life. Now, are you guys ready for college? For college life? I hope everybody is. Now, students who are involved on campus are more likely to graduate. And here at Butler, you will have the opportunity to be involved. We have over 30 clubs and organizations, or you can be part of a proud tradition with Butler Athletics. And when you enroll, you will get a student ID card and get in free to our athletic and fine art events. Now, do you want to live on campus and just be minutes away from your classes? You'll have that option. We have 380 students here in El Dorado in our residence halls. Now, we put together a student life video just for you so you can picture yourself at Butler. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now let's talk about your own support team. You want to make sure you ask questions in the classroom, but you also want to seek out our support services, because we have free tutoring, student help, and free counseling. Now, the safety of our students is important to us. Here in El Dorado and Andover, we have campus police officers who are here to keep you safe. Now, are you ready for affordable classes? Let's take a look at this page and talk about how Butler students save thousands of dollars each year when compared to state universities. Now, on the top left, let's talk about financial aid. When you fill out the FAFSA, you're applying for three things: grant, student loans, and work study. Now, on the top right, you can see that we have academic scholarships, and those are based on your high school GPA or ACT score. And we have many other scholarships too. So make sure you apply for our scholarship application online for free. Now let's look at the middle of the page and talk about cost. Okay, you're gonna choose your resident type. You're gonna move to the right. You're gonna see tuition, fees, and your total cost per credit hour. If you look at the bottom of the page, we have an estimated cost for you per year. Okay, that's based on full time, taking 30 credits a year. Okay, so that means you'll take 15 in the fall and 15 in the spring. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna choose your resident type. You're gonna move to the right. You're gonna see tuition, fees. There we've added estimated cost for books. When you come to college, you'll have to purchase your books. Then you're gonna see your total cost per year. Okay. Now, if you decide you want to live in our residence hall, because again, living on campus is an option for you, we've added housing information for you. So if you keep moving to the right, you'll see your total cost with housing. Okay. Now, let me give you an example of how classes could be affordable for you. Let's say you qualify for an academic scholarship of $750. And an activity scholarship of books and tuition, because you can stack your scholarship. So if you go back to that cost per year, so your scholarship for activities is tuition and books. So you don't have to worry about the tuition, you don't have to worry about the books, but you still have student fees you'll have to worry about. Well, your academic scholarship can help you with student fees. So now, can you see how affordable classes can be? Are you ready to become a Grizzly? Well, becoming a Grizzly is simple. All you have to do is follow our enrollment checklist. You'll see that the first step is to apply for admissions, and just go down the line. And if you run into any questions along the way, our admissions counselors are here to help you. Now, you will have some senior year options to come back and visit us if you like. You can come during Grizzly Senior Days, or you can set up a personal campus visit. Well, I hope I helped you learn more about Butler this morning. And now we're going to have Lonnie come up here and talk to you on how you can get started early in taking some college classes.
Good morning, everyone. I am Lonnie Jensen. I'm the Director of High School Academic Partnerships. And the great news is you do not have to wait until you graduate from your high school in order to be a Butler Grizzly. You can take classes while in high school. So, push the wrong button. I apologize. I know I really messed it up. I apologize. Alright, you can start while you're still in high school, and these are the reasons you should consider starting while you're in high school. There's a cost savings. If you look in your pile of papers, there's a gold colored sheet. Those are the general education tuition waiver and the Excel and CTE waiver. So we were just talking about the cost. I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail, so keep that sheet handy. There's a cost savings for starting while you're in high school. You get a jump start on earning college credit. It doesn't matter what you want to be when you grow up, it's going to take you a few years to get there. So if you want to get your associate's degree and transfer on, your several years worth of college you're going to be investing in. By starting in high school, you can get a jump start on that. You have a lighter load for college activities. So far, and I've had a lot of students ask everywhere I go, if there's an activity or a group that they can be involved in, because we as individuals have a variety of interests. I haven't found any interest that we don't have here at Butler, a group or an organization you can be a part of. So whatever your passion is, you can be involved in a group that works on that topic, or that is engaged in that topic. So if you're taking classes while in high school, you can have a lighter load for your academic things so that you can have some of that extra time to work on those passions. And there's early college graduation. It gets you to your goals faster, which also feeds into the top one with the cost savings. What is concurrent enrollment and what are the qualifications? It's a high school student, so you as a junior or as a senior, taking classes at your high school, on a Butler campus, or online. You must have your high school's permission in order to enroll in college classes. That is a state of Kansas rule. We have a form that you fill out as part of the enrollment process, and then there's your signature and the principal's signature. Very easy to obtain, but you must have your high school's permission. And then there are placement requirements. So a junior or senior, a cumulative unweighted GPA of 3.0 or higher, and that is for anything but math and science. So if you're looking at English comp, public speaking, American federal government, this would be one of the requirements. Or you have an ACT reading of 15 or higher and an English of 18 or higher. Or we have the AccuPlacer, for those of you who haven't taken the ACT yet. We have an AccuPlacer test that we can give you that will help you get qualified. College Algebra is our most popular math class for high school students, and I've given you the information there on how to qualify. If you contact us and work through the enrollment process, we can help you identify these things as well. How do you become a concurrent student? You pre-enroll with your counselor. My suggestion is always have a conversation with your counselor before you do anything else. They are helping to guide you at the high school level, and they're also preparing you for what comes after high school. So have a conversation with your counselor. And then you can email highschool@butlercc.edu, which is at the bottom of your gold page. So if you think about it later, it's at the bottom of that page, so you can take a look there and contact us. We will work with you to get through the enrollment process. So I told you I was going to talk a little bit more about this page. So the gold page, there's the general education tuition waiver for Kansas high school students in the fall and spring semesters. So fall and spring only. For these 5 classes, you will not pay tuition. There are fees and there are textbooks that you will have to have, and you will pay for those, but there are no tuition for these classes, for these type classes. These are the most popular classes that we have students take, and they're all general education, so they will apply to any degree that you're working on. If you want to get a little more technical, the state of Kansas has the Excel in Career and Technical Education program, and it's the same concept, but it's talking about technical classes. So for instance, certified nurse's aide, or welding classes, or some of our business classes. There are culinary. There are a number of subject areas that are career and technical education where the state of Kansas is going to pay the tuition and you will only be responsible for any fees. So I've given you information on how to find that list. The list is slightly varied per semester because those classes do sequence. So you couldn't take a level 2 class before you can take a level 1 class. So that list varies just slightly per semester based on what's being offered, but I've given you the information there on how to find that list. Parents in the room, thank you so much for supporting your student. We know that students succeed at a much higher rate when they have a support system, and parents are an integral part of that. When a student applies for admission in the United States, they fall under the Federal Education Rights and Privacy Act, which changes slightly when they get to college. So it still applies in high school, but so I have a middle schooler, and if I call the school, they're going to tell me anything I want to know about my middle schooler. Same with your high schooler. But when they apply for admission at a college, even if they're under the age of 18, that relationship changes. So that the student and the institution, the college, are the ones that can talk. But unless we have written permission from the student, we can't talk to the parent. However, we have the authorization for release of information because we know that it's a very important relationship that students have with their parents, and we want to be able to help with that communication. So when a student is enrolling, through part of that process, we give them the option to sign that authorization for release, so we can share that information with parents when they give us a call. And students, especially while you're in high school, if mom and dad are footing that bill, something you really need to consider, they can help you a lot faster this way. I've also given you contact information, the numbers at the bottom of the page as well as the email address, highschool@butlercc.edu. We'll be happy to help you. Again, if you're interested in enrolling as a high school student, we'd love to get you started so that you're ready to go. If you'll email highschool@butlercc.edu, we would be happy to get you rocking and rolling.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, my name is Donnie Featherston. I'm the Associate Dean of our Early College Academy, which is another way in which you can start your college career early. So let's say, for instance, you kind of know what you want to do. You know what your pathway and major are going to be, and you know where your interests are. Then the Early College Academy would be an option for you to start as a full-time student during your senior year of high school. So what you could do and how it works is basically you go to your high school for half a day, say in the mornings, and then you come to a Butler campus for the second half of the day, and you're both a full-time high school student and you're a full-time college student. So this would essentially get you a year ahead of your college career and pathway. You would take 12 or more credit hours. It is demanding, right, because you are a full-time college student. And we offer them in two different chunks, either 8 to 11 or 12 to 3, and it depends on the campus that you're at and what would work best for you. And we'll talk about where the pathways are at various campuses and what we offer. If you started in your junior year, you could graduate with an associate degree, but this would get you a full year ahead of where you would be, so you could get through college that much faster. Also, we do offer some pathways that have various certifications involved, and we can talk about that, as well as some PD classes. So we do some personal development classes that are going to help you with college study skills and kind of learning to navigate college. It saves time and money, but I think one of the things that is a unique opportunity within the Academy is that each of our campuses has a director with it, so that you're not kind of for your experience, just sort of given, here's the catalog, navigate yourself, but we do it for you. But you have a director there to help you navigate the process for an entire year, to get you acclimated to college, get you ready to go, and make sure you're kind of moving in the right direction. So it's like you still have access to advisors and tutors and everything a student would, but you would also have this director that's overseeing your progress and making sure things are going well for you, helping you advocate for yourself when things are going wrong in a class. Ensuring that you're getting through the program. So where we offer them is we have them at our Andover campus, we have some in our Rose Hill campus, and we have others in El Dorado and Augusta and Douglas, and so we're going to talk about each of those right now. Our Andover campus, which would be in our main Andover building there on, I don't even know the street, help me. What's that, 13? Yes, thank you. My mind went blank there for a second. We do all of those in the morning, 8 to 11, except for one. So those are all in the morning. So you would come to that Andover campus Monday through Friday, 8 to 11 in the morning, take college classes, and then you would go to your high school in the afternoon. The first pathway we offer there is game and simulation design. This kind of gets you involved in some programming, some game stuff, but it's also some graphic arts and different things like that. So there's a lot that goes into this. It's not just computers, but there's kind of a creative side and computers as well. We do our business pathway there, so if you want to be a business student, you can go ahead and get started with that. Marketing classes, business, some accounting stuff. The only afternoon one we offer at Andover is cybersecurity, and so that takes place in the afternoon. So you would go to your high school from 8 to 11, and then the Andover campus in the afternoon. And cybersecurity, again, network security, a little bit of programming, some different things in that. We also offer an engineering pathway there, and this gets you set to go into a lot of different fields within engineering. Obviously, a pretty math-heavy pathway. And finally, humanities. And the humanities pathway is kind of our catch-all, right? So say you want to be something that's not quite here, say criminal justice or journalism or something like that. The humanities pathway would be the right one for you. It gets you a lot of your gen eds done, right? Your comp, your gen psych, your different classes like that. But it also has some room in there for you to pick some electives. So you would be able to select a few classes that would fit whatever pathway that you are going to pursue. So that's another option. So those are our Andover options. Rose Hill, we have a campus in Rose Hill. It's a dedicated area of the high school, kind of separate from the high school, that has its own director and staff there. And we do a number of classes, both for the academy and for traditional students at our Rose Hill location. Our most popular pathway by far is at Rose Hill, and that is health sciences. So if you know you want to go into something within the health field, the health sciences pathway will get you started with that. Anatomy and physiology, microbiology, those sorts of courses. You would also within this earn your CNA your very first semester. So again, like I said, some certifications involved. We offer a humanities pathway at Rose Hill that offers a little bit of flexibility as well that you could do with electives. We do our education pathway there. So if you know you want to go into teaching, this follows our BEST program, which is a partnership we have with Emporia State. You can look into that if you're into education, but this follows that program, so you would get a year ahead of that, which means you're going to be in the classroom teaching that much faster. And finally, we are starting in the fall a construction technology program out of Rose Hill. So it's going to be a new area there set up specifically for construction. So if you're into carpentry and masonry and that sort of thing, we are going to have a pathway dedicated specifically for that. So then outside of Andover and Rose Hill, we also offer our culinary pathway out of Augusta High School. We have a section of the kitchen there at Augusta that we have turned into a professional type culinary environment, and we teach classes out of that. So if you are interested in our culinary program, which is a really exciting program and a lot of exciting things going on with that, you can get a head start with that and get a whole year done. Your professional culinary skills, different things like that, work with some of our chefs here, and get in the kitchen making delicious food. There's also, here in El Dorado, we have for the first time started our health sciences pathway here in El Dorado. So if Rose Hill is geographically a bit prohibitive for you, it's a little too far, anything like that, El Dorado would work a little bit better. We are going to offer, with some limited spaces, the health sciences pathway here in El Dorado. So it would be the exact same as we did in Rose Hill, which is in El Dorado here on this campus. So you would have that opportunity. We also do our welding program here as well. So if you were interested in welding, right over there, you can go and you can play with metal and sparks and do welding and work towards your Cert A and Cert B in welding. We have that. I want to take a second too and talk about one of the advantages to doing some of these while you're in high school. Lonnie talked about the saving time and money, but the welding is a great example of something. There's a program in the state of Kansas, Excel in CTE, which if you are in high school, means that certain classes the state of Kansas will pay tuition for if they fall under this Excel and CTE banner. Welding is a great example of this because every single one of the welding courses falls under this Excel and CTE thing. So let's say you wanted to do welding. If you did it your senior year, right, if you started the program, all the classes in welding that you took your senior year, there would be no tuition involved. After that, you would have to pay the tuition. But while you're in high school, there's no tuition for that. So our welding, most of the courses within welding fall into the Excel CTE. There's one gen ed of the entire program that doesn't. Our health sciences have some, our education has some, our business has some, our culinary has quite a few that fall under Excel CTE. So these are classes that the tuition would be taken care of for you while you're in high school. So if that's where you want to go, it's a good thing to take advantage of that your senior year because after that you would still have to pay the regular tuition and fees, which is still going to be less than a four-year college. You're still going to save money, but this allows you a chance to save even more money. Finally, we are going to start in the fall offering at Douglas High School our agriculture program. So if you are interested in going into our renowned ag program here at El Dorado, want to get a head start in that, that is going to be available to you in Douglas for the first time. So we are working there, creating some partnerships with area farmers and ranchers to have a lot of on-site learning going on. So you're going to be in the classroom some, but you'll also be at working farms, ranches, different things like that around Douglas. So if that's your interest, it's a great way to get started on that as well. And a number of those courses are fall under that Excel and CPE banner. So, and we also offer, finally, forgot this one. If you are from pretty far out, right? If you're going, hey, that's great, that's awesome, but how am I going to get here? My school's way too far, I can't do this. We do offer the humanities program entirely online. We have limited availability on this, but it would get you, all of the courses that the humanities program offers are available online. So if you worked it out with your school and your counselors and your principals approved, you could, in theory, do the entire first year of the humanities program entirely online. So if that's something you're interested in, we also have that available. Okay. Now, again, the academy is one way of many to start your high school career. There's concurrent, there's dual enrollment, there's all of that. The academy, because it is a bit more demanding, right? It's a full-time load, has some stuff in it that you have to go through in terms of the application process. The best thing to do is to just go to our website, and just search for Academy or Early College Academy. There's an interest form there. Once you fill that out, it gets you into our system, and Lisa Bolin will start contacting you about the process. There's an application specific to the Academy. You have to do some essay questions. There's a little bit to it. There's an interview with one of the campus directors. There's some stuff that goes into that. So the sooner you start that, the better, because we do have a process that we have to go through. So if you have any interest at all in that, go ahead and fill out that interest form, and we can start communicating with you about what that process would look like, what you need to do, test scores, all of that, and we're happy to help you with that. If you have any questions, though, my name is Donnie Featherston. I'm the Associate Dean of the Early College Academy. You can email me, or you can still email the high school at Butler, and Lonnie will get that to me. So if that's the email that's easiest for you, go ahead and email that. Lonnie and I work closely together. It's going to get to me and to the right place. So again, that's another option for you. So I hope that explains it. Thank you so much for your time and your attention.
All right, we have time for Q&A. And Lonnie and I will stay up here, and we'll bring Donnie up if need be. So let us know what questions you have, whether it is about the FAFSA or applying for admission or any of the academies, anything like that. Anybody have questions that you can think of? Okay, we're going to do a few icebreakers, and you may think of questions then, so I'll ask again. I'm going to have all of the students come up front, and if you'll just line up and stay 3 feet apart, you're going to come up here. Over on this side, there are some cords, okay? Okay, what we're going to do first is I'm going to have you guys line up in order of your birthday, okay? And it's going to be from January 1st through December 31st, okay? So if your birthday, you won't move yet, if your birthday is in January, you're going to head towards that direction, okay? And we'll go January 1st through December 31st, okay? And you can talk, okay? So get in order based on your birthday. Don't worry about your birth year. So you'll need to ask people who are near you when their birthday is.
December 4th.
So we're not.
Are you January? February? You'll scoot down a little bit. Okay? Keep scooting down a little bit. Can you go all the way down? Okay. So that you can spread out. Okay. Yeah. Scoot towards me a little bit so you're not right by the camera. There you go. And just keep scooting down. Okay. Are you feeling like you're getting in order? You're in order? Okay. Come up in front of the cord there. Okay, we're going to start down here. When's your birthday? February 5th. Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. Great job. Okay, stay where you're at. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to introduce yourself to the person on your right and your left. Okay? And you'll only have one, and you'll only have one. Okay? All right, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to have you get in order based on your shoe size, but there's no talking. Okay? By numerical order, no talking. All right? On your marks, get set, go. No talking. Start with the smallest shoe size down here and go to the largest. Don't worry about converting men's to women's. Scoot down. There you go. All right. Scoot this way. You guys scoot down all the way. Okay. 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 There we go. Okay. There. Okay. Here, I think, right? Scoot down. Scoot. There you go. All right. Okay. There you go. Okay, have a seat. All right, good job. So the first time you were able to talk and have a better idea of where you needed to be in life, okay? So that's one way of communicating. We mentioned talking to your teachers, getting to know your instructors in your classes, and talking to them is one of the ways to do that, okay? Also, there is the nonverbal. You were able to use your hands. I have seen groups do that, get in line, maybe based on using their phone. You could use your notes.
You maybe didn't have your phone up here, maybe nobody thought of that. So the way that you did that was with your hands. So if you were in an online class, more than likely you're going to be emailing your teacher, so you'll still be using your hands to type that email. But definitely think about communication in college and being sure that you have an open line of communication with your instructors, and then also with other people in your class too. You might find people to study with. Maybe you go to get some coffee or something to drink before you go to class or after class. Just get some people in your classes that you are friends with and that you can maybe share notes with if you happen to miss a class or something along those lines. Have somebody that you can communicate with in those classes. Okay? All right. I'm going to ask again if anybody has questions or anything. Anything about what we just did? Okay. I'm going to have everybody stand up again, but have your seat near you. Okay? We're going to do another game where all you have to know how to do is stand up or sit down. Okay? This is a choice that you're going to make. I'm going to give you two different things to choose from, and you have to choose one of them. So you can't say, I don't like that, I don't know about that, I don't do either one. You have to choose one. So whatever that choice is in your mind as to why you chose it, that's perfectly fine. All right? So the first one is very simple. If you prefer cats, stay standing. If you prefer dogs, have a seat. That's funny because people started sitting down even before I finished. They're like, I don't like cats, I'm sitting down. Okay, this is very common. Cat people, look around, find your buddies. Okay? All right. The next one, would you rather go to the movie theater or stay at home and watch Netflix? Movie theater, stand up, or Netflix? Okay. All right. Football or basketball? Okay. Salsa or queso? Okay, more queso people out there. All right. Go to Disney World or vacation on the beach? All right. Instagram or Snapchat? Snapchat or Twitter? Okay. Twitter or Facebook? All right. Does anybody have one that they can think of? Something that they would want to know? Anybody? In the back there. Uh-huh. Oh, okay, good question. We do have intramurals. So let me explain a little bit about what intramurals is, because not everybody may know that. So let's say that you played a sport in high school, and you're not going to play that sport in college. You played softball. But in college, you want to continue playing that if you can, just for fun. So that's what intramural sports are all about, is still playing sports or starting to play a sport and just having fun with that. And we do have an intramural director on campus at Butler. Some of you may have seen we have a sand volleyball pit that is out. Actually, it's just down from this building. You may see it when you're out on your tour. So there's sand volleyball and softball and basketball that's available, so intramural sports. And then also, we have a Student Government Association. You'll hear that called SGA. And that is a group of students that plan activities for all of you when you're on campus. One of the things that they plan is bowling nights. It's one of the most popular events. And we've even been able to continue that through COVID and just do that in different sessions so people are spread out a little bit more. But there's bowling night, and then also, as Monica mentioned earlier, you do get in free to all of the fine arts, and athletic events at Butler for free with your student ID card. So even if you are taking a class while you're in high school, you can get a Butler student ID and you still get in free to all of those events. Okay? Great question, thank you. Any other questions? Okay. How about any of the two different things? Anybody think of one of those? Anybody?
Book or movie?
What?
Book or movie?
Oh, okay. Reading a book or watching a movie. If you would prefer to read a book, stand up. Watching a movie, have a seat. Okay. How about another one? Over here.
Cookies or brownies?
Ooh, good one. Cookies or brownies? Okay. We get the same one. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead and have a seat. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break. There are restrooms right outside these doors here. And those of us in admissions will be walking around too to help answer questions for you that you may have. You also can go ahead and start packing up your things into your purple bags because you'll be taking those with you. So let's take about a 10-minute break and then we'll come back in here and we'll get you guys out on your campus tour.
Hey Future Grizzly, welcome to our El Dorado campus. My name's Sam, I'm a sophomore here at Butler, and due to COVID-19, I'm finishing up my spring semester online. I'm so glad you've joined me as I take my final tour as an admissions ambassador here at Butler. So we're gonna go check out the Hubbard Center, come on. So this is our 600 building, this is where all of our enrollment management stuff happens, and upstairs is our library. So right over here is the admissions office. That's where I work. We enter applications. So after you apply to Butler, your application will be accepted there. And right behind me is the registrar's office. That's where you get your student ID picture taken, schedule printed off. We also have financial aid. That's where you have any questions about FAFSA, federal work study, and your scholarships. That's going to be answered there. Career services. That's a department that helps students get internships, build resumes, and then academic advising is where you enroll in classes. So right over here is our accounts receivables office. If you ever have to make a payment or set up a payment plan, that's where you're going to do that. And right behind me is disability services. So this is the library. We do have all of our books and stuff over here. We do have an on-campus coffee shop, and any computers that you see anywhere around campus are free for you to use as long as you know your pipeline information. We do have a classroom up here, so you might have class up here. There is a completely silent study room if you want to use that as well. And our librarians are a perfect resource for you to use if you need any help with papers, research, or anything like that. So as a music major, the 700 building is my favorite building. It's where a lot of our programs for fine arts are held. So right here is the box office. That's where you can get any tickets to plays, musicals, choir concerts, or band concerts. And right here is the auditorium. I've spent hundreds of hours on this stage, along with over 200 other fine arts scholarship students. And right behind me is the art gallery. We have student, faculty, and community art in there, and they do have shows every couple of months. Hey, this is our sound studio. We have several of these at Butler. They're completely soundproof, and you don't have to be on a vocal music scholarship to use them. And even if you just need to let a little bit of steam off, you can do that in there too. And right here we have our dance studio, so if you want to take any dance classes at Butler, that's where those are going to be. To my left, you'll find the 2000 building. That's the Welcome Center. That's where our president's office is held. Dr. Kroll's around campus interacts with our students a lot. And downstairs is the foundation office. And they award over $500,000 in scholarships every year. And they help students from all around the area get scholarships so they can offset the cost of Butler. So this is the 1500 building. Upstairs we have math and nursing, and on this floor we have a lot of general education courses, some lab sciences, including a cadaver lab. And right here is the math lab. This is a tutoring lab strictly for math, and they have math teachers and math tutors in there. And right here is the Kale Krause Learning Lab, and that's another tutoring lab for a lot of other subjects. And you check the schedule, and that's where you can see what's tutored there at what times. Both of those services are also offered online. So this is one of our classrooms here at Butler. This is going to be a lecture style classroom with our straight tables, and that's where a lot of our classes such as public speaking are going to be held. And this is just one of our styles of classrooms, and we're going to look at a collaborative style learning class here too. So as you can see, this classroom is laid out a little bit different. They have the circle tables, and this is set up for a more collaborative style of learning. Behind me, we have East Hall, which is a male living space, and Cummins, which is a female living space. Both of those are suite style with 2 per room, 4 per bathroom. West Hall is a community style living space where they have community style bathrooms, which is more of our traditional style of dorms. We do have the on-campus apartments that have 2 per room, 4 per bathroom, and they have 8 people living in those. Also housed in West Hall, we have our campus health and campus counseling. And we have our Department of Public Safety, which is an on-campus police force that's here 24/7, 365 days a year. So this is the 1000 building. This is the Student Union. So we have SGA housed here, which is Student Government Association. We also have our service desks. So if you ever get locked out of your pipeline account and need help with that, they can help you with that, or any problems with Wi-Fi or any technology really at Butler. We do have our cafeteria here. They serve 19 meals a week, 3 Monday through Friday, 2 on Saturday and Sunday. And they also have a snack bar, so if you miss a meal or something, want to spend a few bucks at that, you can do that. We do have our bookstore here as well. They have all of our on-campus apparel, school supplies, and some other stuff. If you take your schedule that you get from the registrar's office to one of the back windows in the bookstore, you can get all the books you need for all of your classes. Butler is always looking for ways to enhance student experiences, like this building, renovated in 2015 to enhance student involvement. And over to my right is the 100 building, and that's where all of our English teachers' offices are, and mass communications, so campus radio, TV, newspaper, magazine, and sports media. So this is the 200 building. This is where all of our chemistry classes are. We do have a lecture hall that only seats 70, and it's our only lecture hall on campus. Our average class size is only 16, and as you saw in our other classrooms, we like to keep our class sizes small so that you get a one-on-one experience with your instructors. So right over here is our 800 building. That's where all of our business classes are, and our criminal justice department is there. So right here is the 300 building, having our welding department with a 1-year certificate, 2-year degree, and our art department also being here. So right here is the 400 building. That's where our automotive tech department is. And if you're having a car problem on campus, you can take your car there. They'll tell you what's wrong with it. And if you pay a small labor fee and pay for the part, they'll fix it for you. Butler athletics are nationally known. Let's go check out the power plant. So this is the 500 building. This is our gymnasium. We have all of our home volleyball and basketball games here. And any ticket to an athletic event at Butler is going to be free with your student ID. We also have athletic training downstairs, and there's a weight room and another gymnasium for student use. Our women's basketball team won the region in 2019 and this year, making it to the national tournament Sweet 16 last year, and the national tournament being cut short this year due to COVID-19. Our softball team won back-to-back championships in 2016 and 2017, making an 80-game win streak across those 2 seasons, which is the largest winning streak in any division of college softball. Our football team has won 6 national championships with 33 former Butler players going into the NFL. Here at Butler, we're honored to educate those members of our armed forces and veterans who help serve our great country. Our Veterans Across Campus student organization created this space for students to be able to gather. Being an admissions ambassador has allowed me to meet hundreds of future Grizzlies just like you. Thank you for joining me on my final tour. I'm so glad I made the decision to come to Butler, and I hope you will too. admissions ambassador has allowed me to meet hundreds of grizzlies just like you. Thank you for joining
That's
me.
$200 almost, isn't it?
I'm so glad
That's
I
not
made the
bad.
decision to come to
That's
Butler,
less than I
and hope you
expected.
will too. The admissions ambassador has allowed me to meet hundreds of grizzlies just like you. Thank you for joining me.
That's $200.
I'm so glad I made the decision to come to Butler,
That's less than I
and I hope you
expected.
will too.